You right there. That's right. Are you tired of using AI, of wanting help with something, and then kaboom! You are hit with a limit, you are hit with a number of tokens you've already had, or maybe you are on ChatGPT and it says, oh, you have only 3 last messages before you go to the dumbass version. Or maybe you are in Cursor and you don't have any more tokens, you don't have any more prompts available, and you think, fuck! I need a solution. Well, I went through this. I had to go through a lot of pain, a lot of painful experiences. And then I was tired. I was done with that. I said, okay, no more AI yet. Because then I remember, I saw PewDiePie video a while ago and he was like, oh yeah, I hosted an AI on my local machine. And I was like, holy fuck, I can do the same. How can I do this? So I was on the bus and I just went on ChatGPT and I was like, hey, I want an API for any single AI model there is, because I want to host an AI locally on my PC. And ChatGPT was like, oh sure, you can use OpenAI Ski, you can use Gemini Ski, you can use another AI, he said. Then I asked him, okay, but we will run locally. If I want to run, for example, without the internet, will my AI work? And it was like, hell no, what the fuck are you talking about? If you want to host it locally, you don't have any options besides Ollama, which is a lie, because there are other ways you can have AI locally on your PC. But since I was on the bus, I was on my phone, there was a lot of noise behind, I was just like, alright, so I'll just get home, I will install Ollama on my PC, and right there I'll have a powerful AI that will help me with code, will help me with programming, will help me with anything I want to develop. And yeah, that wasn't that easy. Like, it wasn't that easy at all. So my goal was simple. I only wanted to get an AI or get an AI API or get anything, put it on my PC, and it will simply work. And of course, this is not how things usually go. So at first I installed Ollama, and that was kind of hard because on Arch Linux there are a bunch of things that you can't literally just sudo pacman -s and install the package you want. I had to install it with curl, and then I had to download a bunch of stuff that I don't remember anymore. It's just my conversation with ChatGPT. But I got the memorial, and then I ran out of space, and I was like, what the fuck? What do you mean ran out of space? I have 400 gigabytes of free memory. And then what happens is that Ollama usually goes on that directory that you're thinking about, and I was like, holy shit, I don't have a lot of space there. So let's switch this to my home directory, which is not a good practice, but it works, and I really just wanted it to work. After I got it, I had to download the manifest. I don't know what's called a manifest, to be honest, it's just life. After a while, it downloaded the manifest and was like, okay, cool, let's run it. Then I wrote the command, pressed enter, and it went into the terminal, of course. And then it was like, oh well, I prefer to have it on the web just because I don't want to have a bunch of terminals open, and I don't like having workspaces. This is why I have 2 monitors, so I don't have to keep switching workspaces. So I, again, ChatGPT like, hey dude, I really want to have a web UI, you know? And he was like, okay, cool, just install Open Web UI. And I was like, oh, holy shit, okay, let's go. And then, after I tried a lot to download the Open Web UI, I was finally able to do it, but then I was like, alright, so I want to get Open Web UI, and I want to get Ollama, and I want to, boom, mix them. I want to make them interact with each other so I can use my Ollama on my Open Web UI. Was kinda simple? Of course not, dumbass. You think anything would be simple when you're working with tech? Linux? Dumbass. First, I was not able to some why get my Ollama to interact into with the open web UI. And I was like, what the hell is going on? It says, okay, pick or like choose your model. And my model wasn't showing up, and I was so angry, and I was so fucking angry because I had spent like 2 hours setting things up, and I just needed to do them interact with each other, and it should have been simple, but it wasn't. It was a fucking pain. What happened is that I needed to reinstall again the manifest, which took me another 20 minutes, and somehow just by downloading it again, it appeared on my open web UI, and that was it. So I got the Ollama 7B, and I thought, okay, let's test this. So I gave this a very simple prompt just to code, because again, the main purpose of this is helping me program, and also my journey interacting with AI, and also learning about LLMs and having shit locally, because I don't want to be paying ChatGPT and Cursor and every single fucking AI out there. But that was too slow. That was so damn slow. It was taking like 1 minute just to generate a simple page with cat images. And then I thought to myself, holy fuck, yep, now we're screwed. Yep, I'm not gonna be able to use it. Or like, I will be able to use it, but it's gonna be useless because, of course, it's not gonna be as good as ChatGPT, or as good as Gemini, as good as Cursor, as good at OpenClaw, as good at anything. But I hoped it would be at least a bit fast. So I was going to be able to merge all of these AIs, but I would have my main one locally. And then I was like, fuck, well, this won't do. So I thought to myself, well, I could just download a better version of Ollama. No, that's not how it works. It's not how this shit fucking works. Why? Well, because differently from PewDiePie, I don't have $30,000 to spend on GPUs. What I have is an i5 of the 10th generation and a GTX 1660 Super, which has 6 VRAM, if I'm not mistaken. But wow, if I have 6 VRAM, I was basically at my limit because I was in the 7B, which takes almost 7 gigabytes of memory on the VRAM of the GPU. So I was like, okay, I cannot improve by any means my Ollama model, but I need to make it fast. Well, what's the best conclusion? Make it dumb. Make it stupid. That's how tech works. If you want something decently, it's going to take time. But if you want something kinda decent, like more or less usable, you can use a dumbass because it's going to take a shorter time in order to achieve something. And that's what I did. I installed Ollama 3B, which is much faster, but also much dumber. But for the things I want to do, and more importantly, the things I can do with my current PC, this is what I have. So right now, this is the end result. I have a local AI that I can use whenever I want, however I want. It has no constraints over morals. It doesn't care about why I'm searching, what I'm searching, why I want anything, because it's not connected to anything. I can ask anything. Any single thing. It's not going to be censored, unlikely fucking DeepSeek or something, that if you ask something about Taiwan, it goes, oh sorry, I cannot answer this, or anything regarding the Chinese Communist Party. But yeah, I right now have a local AI on my PC. I will not use it like I wanted, of course, because, well, I am restrained by the things I have, and I don't have money to buy a GPU. Because if I didn't have money to pay for ChatGPT, for example, I won't have money to buy another GPU. But that was it. I now have a local AI. I'm happy with it. It was a fun process. It didn't take me a lot of time, actually. It was just like 3 hours of work last night. And that was it. I will use it for like projects I will have in the future. And it's very useful when you want to automate shit. Very, very useful, but I'm going to talk about that on another video. Bye!